What's up, everybody? Spider-Man 4 is finally officially underway at Marvel Studios. We've got news on the creatives for the fourth installment in the MCU, and then I've got a big old theory as to what's actually going down in this movie. This comes to us from Boris Kidd at THR, and they broke all the following news in their article earlier this week, and it goes as follows. Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and also worked on the upcoming series Wonder Man, is in talks to take over for John Watts, who directed Tom's first trilogy. Destin is still attached to direct the sequel to his first MCU movie, Shang-Chi, but with this development, it's unclear when or if that's going to happen. Then in the writer's room, we've got some familiar faces as McKenna and Summers, the duo behind Tom's first trilogy, are both returning to pen the script on this fourth installment. I'm a huge fan of Tom's trilogy, so this right here is great news for me, but maybe not so much for those who aren't such big fans of the newest Spider-Man trilogy. Same thing as far as the main producers of the movie are concerned, as obviously Kevin Feige will produce, and Amy Pascal is returning, seemingly acting as that bridge between Marvel and Sony. Tom Holland and Zendaya, and I'd assume Jacob Batalon, although THR doesn't mention him, are of course also close to signing new deals to return. Then last bit of news here before we get into the crazy talk is THR reported they're not wasting any time with this movie and production is moving fast with filming set to start early next year. That reinforces Daniel RPK's report, which I covered a couple weeks ago, that this movie is filming next year to release in between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Now, real quick, before we get our tinfoil hats on and get crazy, I wanted to thank you guys for stopping by the Nerdverse. I'd appreciate it greatly if you subscribe to the channel to show your support in the freest and easiest way possible. Now let's head to Theory Town. And before I get too far ahead of myself here, this is a mix of what I personally want to see from this movie, Spider-Man 4, and then some of the rumors surrounding that movie that I've covered on the channel you can find under the Spider-Man 4 playlist. First things first, though, is it a multiverse story or a street level story? If you've been around the channel for a while now, you know that Daniel RPK recently reported in that same report where he said they're filming next year, for what it's worth, that it's leaning towards the multiverse. So essentially, Sony gets to mix their characters into the MCU, and it probably means we're unfortunately going to see where that Morbius post-credit scene led. But what if Kevin Feige got his street level movie we've wanted while pleasing Sony too? Now, this is all me going Charlie Kelly in the mailroom, but think about the possibility that Kevin Feige agreeing to do the multiverse again was really just a move to set this movie on Battleworld. If this movie does come between Doomsday and Secret Wars, that's a very likely setting for the movie because Battleworld means the heroes didn't stop the incursions, so they can't have this movie on Earth unless it's a prequel for Avengers Doomsday, which would hypothetically be out already. However, on Sony's side of things, it's much easier. Spider-Man should be the only live-action movie, or Spider-Man 4 rather, should be the only live-action movie they release after Venom: The Last Dance, and it would be co-released with Marvel, of course. They just need to stop. Just let the MCU do their incursions, bring their slop over to Battleworld through those incursions, and then hopefully that stuff can shine a little brighter with the MCU's touch. And then Battleworld, it is of course the key here, whether it's the comic accurate Battleworld or if it's the MCU's version like in The Void or even a brand new location we haven't even seen yet, it is the key. So, with that in mind, and of course the idea that we're going to get all the Sony villains here hypothetically, who are they going to fight? Obviously, Tom will be there considering it's his movie, of course, and I think this is where Feige and Marvel found a way. You have Spidey, and then you have the street level heroes, which, depending on the size of the movie, could feature anyone from Daredevil and Ant-Man, which you might remember I covered that report from Daniel RPK a while back, or you stretch it just a bit further to the Defenders, maybe even to someone like Shang-Chi, specifically him, since Destin is directing the movie, but heroes who are like semi street level, have powers, but like they're fighting street level crimes. The point is, I think this movie will essentially kind of be MCU versus Sony playing on the real life stuff they deal with, making these Spider Man movies. Then, despite the rumors and the fact that it's likely another multiverse movie, I don't personally think Toby or Andrew appear in this movie. You save them for Secret Wars, where you can spread the Spider Man across Battleworld, giving us multiple iconic team ups for Spidey, and then focus on Tom in Spidey 4. That brings us to our final bit, which ties to a report from Alex Perez of the Cosmic Circus that this movie is going to be Peter Parker dealing with all the shit he's been through in his very young life and career as a web slinger. That feels like the perfect opportunity for Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock to lose his symbiote to Peter as Peter Parker fades, with the crime fighting persona taking over and looking for strength to keep him going at every single turn. That'd be a hell of a compelling way to ground Peter on Battleworld, at least in my opinion, and please Sony, while also keeping on track with the ending to No Way Home. And so that'll do it for today's video. Thank you once again for stopping by the channel, and as always, let me know what you thought about all this, both the news and the theory, down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.